on his game.
Well, we kept waiting for that point where he'd get hot and rattle off a few in a row, but it just never came.
So it'll be big smooth right here.
Your memory has to be very short in this format, like less than a second. You have to put every miss right behind you. Forget about it.
Yeah, because one miss can easily turn into 2 and then 3. And then you start racing because you're worried about the clock, and before you know it, you're pretty much out of it.
It's off to the races now. That's his 6th in a row.
And a decent start here, guys.
8 points. Now 9 points. Up to 10 now. 12 for him.
And that is the best score of the qualifying round.
Make that 14. Make it 17.
Fantastic stuff.
And he buries his 5th in a row.
Yeah, this is how you do it.
He collects 22 points. His stroke looked terrific in that round, guys.
Saved his best for last there. 7 straight to close that round out.
So it'll be Isaiah Thomas here.
And guys, one of the cardinal sins of the three-point contest is a player trying to change his stroke after a bad rack or two. It won't work.
Well, it's tempting to do so, Clark, but trying to make adjustments during a 60-second span sometimes is tough. People tend to overthink things. This is really more about finding your stroke early and then not thinking about anything.
Money ball, no good. That's 4 misses in a row. 5 points now. 6. 2 racks remaining. He's up to 7. Down to the final rack. He's got 9. He comes away with 11 points. Well, not his finest showing. I think we can all agree he could have done a lot better.
Yeah, he might not get an invite back for next year's contest after that showing.
Well, one bad round doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to be here, but there's no question, watching that performance, he did not look suited to the format of this contest.
So it's James Harden ready to go.
When Harden came into the league, people were unsure if he'd be able to shoot with range in the NBA. He started out a little slow, but he's become quite the scorer and sharpshooter. And a lot of people thought that would be the case. It was just a matter of when.
To stay in it, he needs at least 11.
He's got to be feeling very confident about his chances here. 5 points more to stay in it.
He got 3 points off that rack. Not bad.
He needs 3 more points.
He's got 9. Up to 10 now. 1 more to stay alive. 11 points. He's tied for 2nd. He posts a score of 14. He turned in a pretty good round right there, don't you think?
Kevin, I think he'd be real pleased with that score. I mean, it can always be a little bit higher, but that was plenty good.
Yeah, I agree, Clark. He's probably happy with it, not ecstatic, but, you know, he did his job and put up a pretty good number.
So it'll be Kyle Lowry here.
So to stay in it, he needs at least 12 points.
The door left open here. He's in good shape. 2 points. 3 down.
And Lowry looking comfortable here.
7 points more to stay alive. 4 more points to stay alive. He's got 9. He comes away with 4 points on that rack.
1 more to stay alive.
That's 4 misses in a row. No good with his 4th in a row. And he's got 15 points when the round ends. Well, a very respectable performance from him there, guys.
Yeah, he was really flowing at that point after he went 5 for 5 on that 2nd rack.
And so we'll see Paul George. He's in a good spot getting to go last. It's no mystery how many points he needs to move on.
And He needs at least 14 here to remain in contention.
Well, his first couple of racks are important, Kevin. If he can get going early, then I think he'll feel very confident going into the latter racks.
2 points. 3 down.
Yep, now he's got it.
Can't get the money ball. 5 points now.
He needs 8 more points to advance.
He's 0 for 3 on money balls. That could cost him 7 more points, and he's in. 8 points. Now 9 points. Chalk it up. His 4th in a row. 1 rack left.
1 more to advance.
One more to move on. And 13 is the final score. Big Smooth got to be pretty happy about his performance in the first round, as it has him looking very, very good for the finals.
Yeah, obviously he's the guy with all the momentum. I mean, he'd probably like to go first just to keep that momentum going. But I still think he'll be fine going last.
Well, especially with his confidence as sky high as it must be right now. I'm sure he'll want to know exactly what that target number is.
And so will see James Harden. Well, if you watch James Harden in college, where, by the way, he was the Pac-10 Player of the Year as a sophomore at Arizona State, teams would have to mark him and watch way beyond the three-point line. Mark, he's always been a deep threat, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has been.
Steve, he's some kind of shooter now in the NBA.
He is, and then he uses that threat to also get to the rim, because he draws the defense out and then puts the ball on the deck and gets all the way into the paint. So really a versatile, multi-dimensional player.
This is not getting it done.
Now with 6. He's up to 7. 4 money balls, 4 misses. That hurts. 8 points. 9 points. Finishes with 11. There was just something off about him in that round.
Yeah, you know, in this format, once it goes wrong, sometimes the harder a player tries, the worse it gets. And you only have a few seconds to correct it, and it can get away from you quick.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so difficult, Clark, because as you said, the time constraints start to play on your mind. You know, you hear that clock ticking in your head, and you force it. And when you force it, there's no way you're going to get into a good groove.
So it'll be Kyle Lowry here.
Kyle Lowry showing more and more confidence in his three-point shot. You know, he didn't have three-point range coming out of Villanova, but he sure has it now.
11 points, the bare minimum to tie it, or he can take a lead.
3 more points will tie it.
9 points. 2 more to tie it up. He's got 10. 1 more to tie. Could only get 1 shot to fall off the rack. He misses his 4th straight.
1 more for the tie. Starting to freeze up a bit.
He barely cracks double digits with 10 points. Well, I didn't expect that score to be as low as it was. What about you guys?
Yeah, when he got to that final rack, you know, he really came off the rails. You're hoping to take a couple of points at the very minimum from that rack, but he didn't get a single one.
That's 7 consecutive misses now. He needs an adjustment. So it'll be Big Smooth right here. Here we go. This is it. He led all qualifiers. Now, can he emerge victorious in the finals? He's got a great shot here. 12 points is all he needs to win. 7 points more to win. Now with 6. He's up to 7.
Well, he's off to a decent start, guys.
4 more points, and it's time. 8 points. He's got 9. Now with 11. Hits for the win.
And a little victory lap through his final shots.
A chance to tack on a few points for posterity.
3 of 4 on money balls. Pushes it to 18. 18 points for him when all is said and done. Boy, he looked great out there, didn't he?
By the time he got to that 4th rack, he was feeling it. He sprayed home the entire rack. That jumper was wet.
And that brings the three-point contest to a close. Coming out on top of the kind of field we had here tonight says so much about our champion this year.
Such terrific sharpshooting on display. You never know who's going to take the crown.
And the crowd here loving it too. And I'll tell you what, we've got some pretty good seats here, guys. I feel like I relived it all over again.
And from all of us here at 2K Sports, we're thrilled to have brought you this year's three-point contest. This is Kevin Harlan, along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, saying so long and thanks for watching.